Welcome to the Nightlorex Archive, Volume 1. Uninterrupted Dread begins now. Before we start, signal your presence with a ghost emoji below and share this fear. Now, close your eyes and settle in. I used to live above an old man who played the violin at night. It was gentle, almost comforting, until it stopped halfway through a song. The next morning, the hallway smelled like iron. When I asked the landlord if he was okay, she said no one's lived there for months. She unlocked the door. No furniture, no bed, just a chair in the center. And the strings, nailed to the wall in the shape of a hand. When I moved into the building, the landlord told me that room was locked for storage. I thought nothing of it until I started hearing footsteps inside, long after midnight. Slow ones. Bare feet on tile. One night, I pressed my ear to the door. Someone whispered my name from the other side. The next morning, the lock was on the floor. The door stood open. The room was empty, except for my shoes. When I moved into this house, every mirror was covered with sheets. The landlord said it was for bad luck. I didn't believe in that, so I took them all off. That night, while brushing my teeth, I noticed my reflection blinked, a second too late. Then it smiled before I did. I covered the mirrors again, but every morning I wake up to find one uncovered. Last week, my phone said my storage was full. I hadn't taken a single picture. When I opened the gallery, every photo was of my bed, taken while I was asleep. The first few looked old, weeks maybe. Then I saw one where my eyes were half open. The last photo wasn't of me in bed. It was taken from behind me. Each night, faint clicks came from under the rows, like stones knocking together. I set my phone to record, thinking worms or water. Near midnight, the clicking stopped. Then a whisper came through the mic. It said my name. I dug there at dawn and hit metal, a phone still ringing from last night. When I answered, I heard myself whisper, begging to be let out. Every morning, Mark would stand before his bathroom mirror, only to find it empty, as if he were invisible. His house began to feel colder. His pictures on the walls slowly fading. On the 10th morning, Mark watched in horror as his reflection suddenly reappeared, mimicking movements he wasn't making. His mirror self stared back, smiling wickedly, then stepped out from the glass, leaving Mark trapped behind it. From then, it was the reflection living Mark's life. Every night, as the clock struck 3, a soft conversation began beneath me. At first, I thought it was all in my head, but last night, I decided to listen, to really listen. They were discussing someone, a girl. They said she was not aware of her surroundings. How long had she been like this? The chill in their tones made me shudder. I mustered the courage to look below, grasping a flashlight. The beam flicked on and revealed an exact copy of me, eyes open, whispering back. I woke to the sound of breathing, right beneath me. Not snoring, slow, careful breaths, like someone pretending to sleep. I froze. My floorboards creaked with each exhale. I whispered my roommate's name. He wasn't home. The breathing stopped. Then, from under the bed, a voice said, "Don't move." My TV turned on by itself last night. White noise filled the room, soft but steady, like breathing through the screen. I muted it, but the sound didn't stop. It got quieter, closer, until I realized it wasn't coming from the TV. It was whispering my name from behind the wall. I haven't turned the power back on since. My phone rang at midnight. The caller ID showed my own number. I answered anyway. At first, just static. Then I heard breathing, same rhythm as mine. I said, "Who is this?" The voice repeated me perfectly, even the hesitation. Then it said one thing I hadn't. "I'm still outside your door." My phone buzzed at 3 a.m. One new voicemail. No number. I pressed play. It was me, breathing, shifting in bed, the sound of my own sleep. Then another voice whispered, close to the mic, "Don't wake him." I checked the recording time. It was sent 2 minutes ago, while I was still asleep. I live on the top floor. No attic, no crawl space, nothing above me. But every night I hear footsteps on the ceiling, slow, pacing back and forth. I asked the landlord. He laughed and said the roof's solid, just insulation. Last night, I climbed onto a chair and touched the ceiling. Something tapped back, right where my hand was. I joined a video call with my friend around midnight. She didn't speak, just stared at me through the screen. I asked if her mic was broken. Then I heard her voice, clear, close, behind me. "Can you see me now?" she said. The call was still open, but she wasn't in it anymore. I was editing a voice memo when I heard breathing in my headphones, just in the left side. I stopped the recording, but it kept going. Then a voice whispered, calm and close, "Don't pause again." I took the headphones off. The breathing was still in my ear. I said goodnight to my mom through the wall. She answered me back. The problem was, she'd been dead 3 days. I froze, listening. Her voice was calm, asking if I'd brushed my teeth. I whispered, "Mom?" Footsteps moved to my door, soft and slow. When it creaked open, I saw her shadow kneeling. Now, every night, she waits for my reply. My job's quiet after midnight. Just me, the front desk, and the glass door. I like watching the parking lot lights flicker. Last week, a man started standing outside. Same spot, never moving. Tonight, he waved. I almost waved back until I saw myself reflected in the glass, already waving. I turned around. The lobby was empty. Now, every night, the reflection waves first. My rideshare picked me up outside the hospital. The driver never spoke, just nodded when I got in. Halfway home, I noticed the GPS wasn't moving. We'd been driving in circles. I asked where we were going. He smiled. But in the rearview mirror, the driver's seat was empty. The car slowed in front of my house. My phone buzzed. The app said my driver was still on the way. I stepped out of the shower and glanced at the mirror. My reflection didn't move. I waved my hand in front of it, but it stayed still. I stepped closer. My reflection stayed frozen, eyes wide. I turned my back to the mirror, then heard the sound of someone breathing behind me. I turned back to the mirror. My reflection was gone. I was locking up the office when I heard a knock from the storage room. I called out, no answer. Then the knocking started again, slower this time. I checked the key ring. The key to that room was missing. I crouched to look under the door. A single eye stared back at me. I waved to my neighbors this morning. They were standing in their yard, smiling. 5 hours later, when I drove past again, they were still there. Same spot, same smile. That night, I checked again. Their porch light was off, but they were still watching. I hit record, ready to show someone. When I played the video back, they were standing closer, right outside my window. I heard my baby crying on the monitor. When I checked the crib, she was sound asleep. The crying kept going from the speaker. Then a voice whispered, "She's fine. Go back to bed." I froze. The monitor light turned off by itself. A few minutes later, it turned back on. This time, the camera showed the crib empty and someone standing where I'd just been. I installed a new security camera in my living room, just to check on my dog while I'm at work. At lunch, I opened the live feed. He was barking at the hallway. I texted my neighbor to see if anyone was home. She replied with a picture of me standing in the hallway. The camera's motion alert went off again. It said, "Motion detected. Office." I got in my car after work and started driving. The mirror showed the empty back seat, like always. At a red light, my phone buzzed. It was a photo from my dash cam. A man sitting in the back, smiling. I turned around. Nothing. I checked the dash cam again, and the feed was live. Someone whispered from the speaker, "Keep your eyes on the road." I pass the same scarecrow every night driving home. It always faces the cornfield, but last week it was turned toward the road. Tonight, it's gone completely. When I pulled into my driveway, my headlights caught it standing in my yard, its head tilted toward me. I ran inside and locked the doors. The police said they'd check the field, but when I looked out the window, it was waving. I was testing my microphone for a late-night stream, just tapping and saying, "Testing, 1, 2, and then a second voice repeated after me. Same words, same tone. I thought maybe it was feedback, until it said something I hadn't said yet. It whispered, "I'm here." I muted my mic, but it kept talking. The waveform still moved, and the voice said, "Don't mute me again." I checked the dash cam after my drive home. It recorded everything, except 1 minute. Right where the road curves, the timer jumps. Then the screen flickers, showing my car parked. I'm still sitting inside, staring straight at the camera. Only, I never stopped there. When I scrub forward again, the seat beside me is empty, and my head turns toward the lens. Every night before bed, I turn off the hallway light. Last night, it was already off when I got there. I thought maybe I'd forgotten, but when I reached for the switch, my hand brushed another hand. Cold. Still. Waiting. I turned the light on. The hallway was empty. This morning, I checked my security feed. It ends at the exact moment the light goes out, and my hand keeps moving in the dark. Every night, I hear someone moving in the room behind mine. There isn't a room there, just a wall. I knocked once, something knocked back, so I pressed my ear to the drywall. I heard breathing, then a quiet voice whispering, "You're in my room." I checked the floor plan this morning. There's no space behind that wall, but tonight, the knocking started from inside my closet. A police car pulled me over on my way home. The officer asked for my license, calm, polite. He glanced at it and froze. Then he leaned closer and said, "Step out of the vehicle, sir." I did. He turned his flashlight on my driver's seat and whispered, "Stay quiet." Someone was sitting there, wearing my jacket, holding the wheel like they'd been driving the whole time. If you are hearing this, your will is stronger than most, and your support for the archive is deeply appreciated. Remember to like this video, share it with those who enjoy a genuine fear, and finally, tell me your own story in the comments. What is the scariest moment or story you have ever truly experienced?